So here we have the limited edition set of A Banquet from Second Sight Films. We'll just take off the J card, which has the usual information that's included on the back of the disc. It's the usual hard box that we have here. First up, we have the disc. There's no reversible art. And a list of the extras that's on the back, but we'll get into those later on. Then we have the 56-page booklet. Here we go with the cast and crew. On Leakage, Thoughts on a Banquet by Alexandra Heller Nicholas. A Banquet by Heather Wisson. Behind the Scenes, Paradigm Shift, and Acknowledgements. So it's got these various essays on it, as well as some behind the scenes imagery from the film. We also have art cards. New from Second Sight Films is A Banquet, out now on Blu-Ray to own, and one of those fancy Second Sight limited editions that you just saw me unbox there. And this movie from 2021 is one of those slow, measured paced, emotional dramas that ekes ever so slightly into the horror genre. This is a movie about a family who are dealing with grief and how each member of the family kind of copes with it in their own way. We have Holly, who is the mother. We have the oldest daughter, Betsy. We have the younger daughter, Isabel, and we have the grandmother, June. And these are the sort of four main players within the film. We have, at the start of it, Holly's husband dying, leaving a kind of mark in the family that they are struggling to deal with. Everybody has their own way of kind of coping and moving on with their world. But Betsy, who is primarily one of the main characters, the catalyst for the story, is someone who is deeply affected. And she kind of turns her nose up to food, doesn't want to eat, doesn't want anything at all. She deems, as the movie moves on, to be controlled by a higher power who knows what's coming, who's there to prepare Holly into becoming something in the future.
It's okay, you don't have to be scared, you don't have to be afraid, because I've seen what happens afterwards. It's so beautiful.
And it's this reluctance to eat that really drives a lot of the emotional drama here, because she's making herself the focus of this family. She's making herself the centre of attention, even though it's through a negative way. And we have Holly trying to deal with that. We have Isabel as the almost forgotten child, who has a wonderful story arc as well, as she tries to come to terms with the fact that she may not be the most important family member. In fact, she's being quite neglected around this as well. We get the inclusion of the wonderful Lindsay Duncan as June, who turns up later on to allow us into a lot more information about the characters than we're first given, to see how this situation could be playing out.
Don't be the show.
And it's one of those movies where it doesn't give you all the answers in a flat out quick summation, but all the clues are there, all the comments, all the moments in the movie that lead to where the answers are. It's one of those movies where you could be a little bit frustrated with the ending, but if you think about it, everything's there to lead you down the path of what you need to know. I found A Banquet to be a kind of haunting, slow burn thriller horror that slowly got under the skin. It has moments of kind of exorcism and body possessions. It has some body horror in it in certain moments as well. It has some absolutely astounding performances in this one. I'd be hard pressed to single out one person, because I feel as though everybody does really fantastic work here, really drawing me into the emotion of the piece, which is where the film resonates most, drawing you into that emotion, drawing you into that situation where you are doing things that are unusual to you, feel right, but could be ultimately detrimental to everyone and anyone round about you. I thought A Banquet actually looked amazing. It had some wonderful cinematography. I loved the way it kind of created this wonderful palette of colours, moving from like spring into autumn, how it had these wonderful vistas, how it controlled its lighting, but particularly the sound mix was pretty terrific in this one, particularly when it comes to food, when it comes to something that's often shot in a very tasteful manner where it makes it look delicious, it makes it look lovely. This is done the opposite. The sounds, the look, it all kind of jumps off the screen in a disgusting fashion. It's something that repels and disgusts. A lot of the eating sequences in the film do that as well. A Banquet is one of those, like I said, slow burn, interesting, not quite horror but horror movies with some absolutely fantastic performances. It may not be for everyone. I liked it. Can't say that I loved it. Definitely one I would go back and check again just to see how my view lands on it. But as usual, it's second sight. It's got a terrific package and it's got some wonderful extras. So let's just jump in, have a little look at them. So here we are in the disc for A Banquet. We're going to go into the extras. First up, we've got Improvised Exorcism, an interview with Jessica Alexander, who plays Betsy in the film. This is 15 minutes, 58 seconds. She talks a lot about getting the auditioning through COVID, and some of her favourite scenes and aspects of the film. Next up, we have Deformity of the Flesh, an interview with director Ruth Paxton. This is 15 minutes, 39 seconds long. Talks about creating a production through COVID and the hardships that come with that, as well as some of the moments that she had to cut from the script that she really liked but just couldn't do because of, well, circumstances. Next up, we have Producing a Feast, an interview with producer Leonora Darby. This is 20 minutes 12. Again, they all kind of focus on similar thematics but different aspects of them. Again, we're talking about COVID and logistically how to deal with things. Quite a bit spent on the production as well from that, like in one scenario, just how they acquired a skating rink and how it worked out in their favour. Next up, we have Dark Edges, an interview with David Liddell, which is the director of photography. At 25 minutes 14 seconds, it's the longest of the extras and one of the more fascinating ones. You get a real insight into a lot of the things he was trying to do, his passion for horror movies and why he enjoys working in or on this one, and some of the touches that he brought to it. And he's really kind of excited and passionate about the subject and can talk well on it. It was a really good extra. Next up, we have the Q&A at Glasgow Film Festival from March 2022. This is 16 minutes 56 seconds long. And finally, we have Family Disorder, the making of A Banquet, which is 17 minutes 31. It's quite a good making of. Starts off with all the sort of main actors and players within the film talking about what A Banquet is actually about. And that is the extras for this disc. So there we have it. A Banquet is out now. I would love to know if you've seen this movie. Are you thinking of picking it up? Let me know in the comment box below your thoughts on this film. Whether you liked it, loved it, hated it, whatever. Fell somewhere in the middle. Let me know in the comment box. And while you're down here, don't forget to give this video a like. There is more content of mine up here if you want to see more of my stuff. And don't forget to check the description box where there are links to Patreon, ManVFilm.com, or the membership program, all ways in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on ManVFilm.